Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How is everybody doing today? Nobody's in the stream yet, so I'm just gonna... Barry, how are you doing today? Good. Awesome. Barry has a tree and a fireplace back here, and he's got a Santa hat. He's in the holiday season. I'm in the holiday season. I should go grab... Oh, wait, no. My elf hat is upstairs because I wore it last night. I just occasionally wear an elf hat whenever I go out. That's just part of my Christmas season cheer. How's your day? Today's good. It's warm in this part of the world. Warmer than usual. We had a lot of snow and ice last week, and now it's kind of like in the high 50s. So I just had a moment where I opened all my windows in my house and just kind of had that kind of air coming in and just air out everything. So I just did that today, really. Gonna do like my laundry and stuff. So today, we usually do One Piece TCG, me and Briggs. Briggs messaged me this morning that he was not going to be around today. He had some other stuff going on. So I decided to do another one of these Q&A streams. These are always fun. I did one back in September, and then I did one with Artur last month. So I'm going to try to make this like a monthly thing where I just jump on for like an hour, hour and a half kind of stuff, and you just barrage me with One Piece questions. Just throw One Piece questions at me, and I answer them. And that's what we did. We did this last time. It was a lot of fun. So let's just rock and roll with this one here. Let's see. We get with some good One Piece questions here. Where do you think Mihawk got that sense of style? So we know that Mihawk at least had that sense of style 24 years ago during Roger's execution. We see a 19-year-old Mihawk wearing the same kind of flair. He had epic sideburns back then. I think, depending on the version, in the Strong World version, he does not have Yoru. In the anime version, he does have Yoru. So it's not exactly known when particularly he got Yoru, but if just going by the manga, I do not believe he had Yoru when he was 19 and he saw Roger's execution at Logtown, okay? So I think he got it a little bit after that, but who knows exactly when he acquired it. But that really kind of completes the ensemble. But Mihawk was rocking the vampire aesthetic long before he got the giant sword, okay? What is the One Piece? It's the friends we made along the way. Is the guy who has a zone animal arm only canon? Yeah, that's all Hunt Grout. He hunts the grout that's in your shower. He removes it. Yeah, no, anime-only character. That was in the Marine Rookie arc that took place between Zoe and Whole Cake. Not a bad filler arc, really, but always bugged the crap out of me. Really, he was an introduction for how, like, the smile fruits were going to work. Why the Marines have smile fruit users is anybody's guess, and they don't even really reference his ability. Like, they don't actually explain during the, like, because when he first showed up, I'm like, all right, they're gonna delve into this. They're gonna, like, explain what's up with his arm, and they kind of do, but not really. They're just like, yeah, it's a zone fruit that he can't control. You know, he lets the animal loose or something like that. I'm like, all right, that doesn't seem to be how any other animal fruit operate. I mean, how many other zone fruit operates? I guess it's a smile. But, you know, we don't really know the full story behind that. And, yeah, but that was an all right filler arc. If nothing else, we got to see Luffy and Carrot and Nami all dress up like Marines, and that was cool. You don't see Marine variant Luffy very often. So that was kind of nice. Let's see. What else do we got here? How does citizens in the One Piece world cross the Red Line and Grand Line? So this is actually a question me and Artur answered, I believe. So there is other industries in One Piece that do get referenced but not touched upon a lot, and that is there is an industry like of merchants. Okay, there's merchants that travel all over the One Piece world to deliver goods, obviously. They would have to have a means of getting across the Calm Belt and getting into the Grand Line and stuff like that. It's dangerous. Perhaps they have like marine escorts, you know, because the Marines have the technology to kind of go through the Calm Belt. It's not ridiculous to claim that maybe a merchant ship, and we're talking, when I say merchant ship, I'm not just talking about a small little ship that like has a couple of supplies. There's probably, like, there's like Umit. Umit has his shipping magnate thing. Umit Shipping is a maritime transportation company presided by the underworld emperor Umit. This is like the One Piece equivalent of like FedEx, okay? So it's a big, big corporation. So I imagine their ships might be outfitted so they could travel through the Conch Belt with that sea prism barriers and stuff like that, because this technology would not just exist for the Marines. Other like industries would have to have this, because like that's how you get products and stuff shipped all over the world. So there has to be a means for that. Could there be a Santa devil fruit? Yeah, I mean, probably, you know, Hito no Mi model old Saint Nicholas. Yeah. Did you ever try weed? Greetings from Germany. I've never tried weed. No, I'm very, very boring. But I do believe it should be legalized recreationally across the United States, because it's not that big of a deal. What kind of treasure do you expect One Piece to be? A lot of One Piece. Let me ask you a serious question, though. Let's say I knew that. Let's say I actually knew what the One Piece was. Would you want me to just tell you? Remember the words of Rayleigh. Don't get ahead of yourself. Even if I told you right here and now what the Void Century was or what the One Piece was, you lack the proper context in order to, like, understand that completely. Let's say the One Piece series ends someday. I know, crazy. But let's say when it does finally end and we learn what the One Piece is, and then there's a person that just starts to read One Piece for the very first time. They have no idea what any of this is yet. Somebody just starts reading about it. If you know what the One Piece is and they're just starting this journey, just telling them what it is might not even register. It might not even make sense to them, because they haven't experienced 1,000 plus chapters of this epic, okay? So, like, even if I did know what the One Piece was, even if I told you what it was, it would just maybe be like, it might not hit as heavy as it might if you haven't, like, understood, like, what's going to happen in the series to build up to that point. You know? That's what I think Oda's going for here, and it's really awesome. Does that mean you know? Well, I mean, did you see? If I knew what the One Piece was, I'd probably be driven insane. I probably would just be like, there's no way. Did you think Loki was a Yonko? No, Loki was not a Yonko. I feel like if Loki was a Yonko or a pirate at any point, he wouldn't have a special bounty. It would just be kind of like a bounty like anybody else's. I think the fact that it's a special bounty is indicative of the fact he's not a pirate, but there's another reason why he was issued that bounty by the world government. Probably because he could end the world, even though he's not technically a pirate. This is the best time to be a One Piece fan, because once it gets revealed that impact not hitting as hard for other people. It will hit as hard for other people, but you can't, like, they can't be spoiled for it. But, like, that's the thing, like, whatever the One Piece does turn out to be, like, I want it to be something where, like, if you were to just say to somebody what it is, like, let's say the One Piece is a bottle of sake, and it might be like, that's lame, that sucks, that's not a real thing. It's just like, well, it's the way that Oda can spin that after you spend so many years learning about, like, the story and the back lore of the Void Century and everything. It might reach a point where it's like, whoa, that makes sense now. Teching, I'm on lunch. How many people have you personally convinced to watch One Piece? You know, like, not very many, to be honest with you, like, because a lot of my friends, like, I have a friend, my friend Patrick, he's watched One Piece, but he was into it beforehand. My friend Zach, Casey's husband, I got him into watching One Piece. But, like, you know, not too many of it, because I don't really push it on people. You know, I don't go up to people and be like, you gotta watch One Piece now. It's like, dude, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing, you know? And I usually tell people when people come up to me and they say, hey, I just started watching One Piece, I'm like, cool, you know? And if it's like by the end of East Blue, if it's by the end of Arlong Park, you're not really feeling the vibes of the story and it's just not there, then it's just not for you, and that's fine, you know? But I don't go around, like, you know, like pushing it. It's like, you need to watch this. You know, I'm not like an evangelist for One Piece. I'm not like, hello, have you heard about the Lord and Savior, Monkey D. Luffy? He's going to be king of the pirates and save us all. Do you think we'll see other variants of Sunstones? Yeah, I hope to see more from the painting stuff. I hope it's not just painting rainbows. I mean, that would be cool in and of itself. And I made a whole video about talking about, like, all the different technology and stuff you could do with painting rainbows. Like, if you can, like, swim through the rainbows and make, like, a bridge, kind of like the Milky Roads and the Dials in Skypiea. But I hope to see other variants. Maybe you could make buildings or weapons out of the painters. That would be really neat. Yeah. What's Crocodile's secret? How would it be relevant again? So, like, a lot of people love the theory, and it's like one part meme, one part serious, that, oh, Crocodile is Luffy's mom. Like, that's the theory. That was his secret. That's what he was trying to, I don't think that was, like, accurate. You just throw that out there. I don't think that Crocodile's Luffy's mom. But the idea is, what if Ivankov used the hormones to turn Crocodile into a man? And that was, like, the whole idea. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, like, would that be that big of a secret, though? Would that be something that Crocodile is, like, that upset about? Like, you better not even mention that. It's just, like, I guess considering Ivankov's abilities, like, what else could it be, really? But I don't know. I guess given Crocodile's personality, I don't know. He's never... See, the thing about Crocodile is Crocodile's never had the kind of, like, rhetoric of, like, I'm a man and I am strong. If that was his attitude, if he kept, like, saying it over and over again, like, I am a man and I am stronger than this woman, Miss All Sunday, die, Like, if that was his kind of, like, really toxic attitude toward things, and then you find out later he was born a woman and Ivankov changed his sex, it'd be like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. But that's not Crocodile. That's not how he acts. So it would be weird for him to be that big of a deal. And also, the Seraphim was male as well. So it's like, well, then again, we only saw the Seraphim once. We don't really know 100%, but, we only saw the Seraphim one time in the manga. In the manga, it's just like the face of the Seraphim, and that was it. So we don't actually technically know. But yeah. But in the live action, at the very least, it does seem to be that Crocodile is a woman during Roger's execution. Because we see a person that seems to be very clearly Crocodile. Like, the look of this woman is way too, like, specific to be just a random person in the crowd. Right? And you see her there, and she's right next to Shanks. You can see Shanks back there as well. And and the camera focuses on her for, like, a second. Like, you see how, like, a lot of other people in the crowd are kind of, like, blurred out in, like, the foreground and stuff like that? You do focus on her very briefly. And then it shifts over to Shanks. So you see this woman, and then you see Shanks. So it seems like, at least in the live-action continuity, they are going along with that logic, maybe. And now Crocodile is cast as a man in season 2. So, maybe they are going to go ahead with that in the live action. I don't know. Yeah. She could be a red herring. I mean, maybe. Very, very clearly, maybe. But who knows? Who knows? How many mysteries are left in One Piece at this point? 22. 22 mysteries are left. Exactly. How would the story of One Piece be changed if the Straw Hats started to be more ruthless, started taking out their enemies such as Crocodile? Oh yeah, if the Straw Hats just went like cold-blooded killer, they were just like, we're done with this shit, and then Zoro just slops off people's heads. They would definitely have higher bounties. Remember the reason Kid had a higher bounty than Luffy at Sabaody? Luffy's bounty was 300 and Kid's was 315 was because Kid was way more brutal with the way that he treated people. Like, if people laughed, like that scene at the scene at Jaya in Mocktown. That's the example I always give, where everybody was making fun of Luffy's dreams and going into the sky and everything like that, and Luffy just walked away because that's how Shanks taught him to just behave in that situation, just walk away. If that would have happened with Kid, that entire bar would have been burned down. You know what I mean? Like, he would have burned down the bar, he would have grabbed and, like, crucified everybody in that freaking tavern. Like, anybody that laughed at him, he would have just killed, okay? And, but then again, keep in mind, Kid's bounty was higher than Luffy's, but it wasn't, like, absurdly higher. It wasn't like he got an extra 15 million. So if the Straw Hats were like super, super brutal, maybe like their bounties would be maybe like 50 million higher at the most, but I don't think they would have gotten to Sabaody with like, Luffy having a billion berry bounty or anything like that. Maybe it'd have been like 350 by the time they got to Sabaody. Zoro's would have been like 170. Nami's would have been like 50, 56 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been a little higher because they don't take any prisoners kind of situation, right? Could Dory and Broggy's new 1.8 bounties be foreshadowing Usopp's endgame bounty? I don't know about that. Like being Usopp's end bounty. Usopp's bounty right now, it's 500, right? Let me just double check on that. I have the wiki queued up just to check anything. Yeah, it's 500 million, which it seems to be Usopp's bounties are like trailing Luffy's a little bit. Because his first bounty was 30 million, and that was Luffy's first bounty. And then it's 200 million, which that's not a direct analog, but then we have 500 million, which was Luffy's bounty after Dressrosa. So it's like, okay, there seems to be a theme here. So maybe Usopp's bounty will reach 1.5 billion, will be the next like advancement to that, or something of that. Oh no, you missed my super chat. It's okay. All super chats are saved to me to read throughout the stream, and I have a magic handy dandy little thing, so I could do this. We'll be all right. Okay. Theory. End of series. All devil fruits will be used in unison. Oh, that would be badass. That would be a fucking nightmare for Oda to draw, but that would be cool. Let's do it. Yeah. Longtime fan since Kenpachi versus Gremmy. Oh, yeah, that was like 2014. That was a long time ago. What are your thoughts on the top of Elbaf being the point of High West? So, I'm thinking, considering the way that Gonfall talked about that, it seems to be that High West, and Artur agrees with me on this. Artur actually is working on a brand new interactive map of One Piece. He showed me like the prototype of it, and when it goes up, you guys are going to love it. It's insane. But he puts High West like right around the area of Jaya, because the idea was that Gonfall said you climb to High West, and then you travel around an island or two, and then you get to Skypiea. Elbaf is clear on the other side of the fucking planet, all right? Like, literally on the other side of the planet, right? So I highly doubt High West is on that side of the world, because if you go on High West, like, let's say it's Elbaf, and it seems to be High West is a mountain. It's not a tree. It's a mountain. That seems to be the indication. So if you get to the top of the mountain and you travel over one or two island clouds, dude, there'd be so many island clouds from then to Skypiea. It's on the clear on the other side of the planet. So I highly doubt that that is the place, but it could be another way to gain access to the White Sea. Gonfall talked about his only little region. Remember, Skypiea was just one little area of the sky. Okay, he was talking about like his own backyard. Like, yeah, some people get up here with the High West. Some people can get up here with the knock-up stream if they're very daring. But I don't think he was referring to like all the different ways to get up to Skypiea in the entire world, because there seems to be multiple places you could do that. But yeah, if you could ask Oda one question, what would you ask? Also, I think we find the One Piece is going to be the most spoiled thing in the anime. So I actually thought about this a couple of times. You know, what would I ask him? There's a question like, would I ask him something personally about the One Piece story, or just something as like to him as a person? The question I would ask him as a person is probably like, what is it like to know that you are going to probably stand the test of time as being one of the best authors of all of language? You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to like the best-selling authors of all time, like Shakespeare's #1, Agatha Christie's #2, Oda's like number 9 or 10. Like, that has to be insane to understand that you have created something that isn't just going to be popular for a little while and that's it. Like, you have created something that will probably be read for decades, if not hundreds of years from now. So what does that feel like as a author? What does that feel like as a mangaka? Because that is not a status that just everybody achieves, okay? Like, only certain people get to reach that, and you are one of those people that reached it. How the fuck does that feel, right? Like, yeah, to like impact like global like language and like storytelling. Like that's a big deal, okay? Not every manga is translated into like every single language like One Piece is, okay? So that would be a question I would ask him personally about like that. Now, if you're asking me like what One Piece question I would ask him, I don't know, man. Like, I'd have to think about that one if I only got a chance to ask him one. And if it wasn't something like, what's the One Piece, or what does Eam look like? You know, questions that we're probably going to have answered. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. I'd probably like pick a specific devil fruit and just pick his brain on how this works, maybe explain the origin of devil fruits more like concisely, but I feel like we're going to get that anyway sooner or later. Like, we're going to find out what devil fruits truly are at their core. Like, that's going to be something that's going to be revealed. You need to visit Germany. I do need to visit Germany. I would love to go to Germany. What faction would you want a spin-off to follow? Revolutionaries. That would be a fun way to kind of see this whole thing from the perspective of Dragon, because everyone makes fun of Dragon from staring east too much, but I feel like he has a whole story that we really haven't seen, you know? He does other stuff. He stares south every once in a blue moon. This is the best time to be a One Piece fan. Oh, yeah, I answered that one already. Okay, I got those ones. All right. Here's a bunch of new ones. We're going to do super chats, and then I'll bounce back to the regular chat. We'll kind of do alternating back and forth. But with these question and answer videos, I do tend to get more super chats for obvious reasons. Is the Elbaf safe from the flood? So this is a question. Like, if the world flooded, that means part of Elbaf has to be underwater. So was that tree always that length? Is it a magic tree that just grows taller? Is there more layers to the tree that are under the water? One of these questions has to be one or the other. It has to be either the tree grew when the water level grew, because it's like a magic tree, or there's more levels like below. And maybe you could go inside the tree and go down it. I mean, it's a magic tree that basically probably grows out of the core of the earth, because it's growing in salt water, and it seems to be doing just fine. So, the roots of the tree have to be under the water. So, yeah, and probably all the way down, because the mother tree, Eve, goes all the way down to the seabed, right? So it's probably growing out of the core of the planet. On opposite sides as Eve and Adam. So in that regard, I would say that, yeah, it is safe from the flood. It seems to indicate that it has to be. Who has your favorite design in One Piece? I really dig Law's look. I really like, Frankie is a big one. Brooke is a big one. I really was a big fan of, like, this is going to sound weird, but I kind of like the way Jack looked. I shit on Jack a lot because, what happened to him, but, like, Jack the drag down. But no, like, Jack's look when he first showed up was pretty fucking intimidating if he comes stomping into your town, Also, he turns into a mammoth, and I like mammoths. If Meruem and his royal guard showed... This is a Hunter x Hunter question, but also One Piece. If Meruem and his royal guard showed up and found out they needed to find the One Piece to be recognized as the true king, how far do you think they get in the verse? Meruem and his royal guard, I think, would do a pretty damn good job of, like, steamrolling a good chunk of, like, pirates in the One Piece world. Like, if it was, like, Meruem versus Drake, Meruem is stomping the shit out of Drake. Meruem versus Kid, even... Yeah, because you got to imagine the damage that Meruem took. Like, it was everything short of a nuke that actually didn't even scratch his ass. So, like, like Netero's final attack, which was like a fuck-off laser cannon at point blank, took out, like, 10% of his health, okay? So, I don't think, Kid's damned punk has the same level of power as that. You know what I mean? I don't think it's that level of Zero Hand, so I think Meruem is kicking the shit out of like, Kid. Now, when it comes to the Straw Hats, like Luffy Gear 5th, that would be a fun fight. Maybe we'll do a video on that someday. Pito is ridiculously strong. Yuppie is ridiculously strong. And they have, like, no morals. They're just going to rip you apart. So, damn. That's a crazy question, though. Considering Dragon and Garp were both too busy to look after Luffy, and he was left with Makino as well as the bandits, Oda keeps all of these caregivers, yet his mom is begrudgingly mentioned. Yeah, I think the whole idea is that in Oda's mind, Dadan is Luffy's mom, and that was the person that raised him, and it's a question of, who is your real mother? Is it the person that raised you, or is it your biological mother that you don't even know? And in the regards of Luffy and the way he would view it, it would probably be Dadan is the one that raised him, okay? That's his mom for all intents and purposes. Where it's, like I've said this before, whenever we do find out about Luffy's mom, it's not going to be Luffy's mom. It's going to be finding out more about Dragon's wife. That's going to be what it's more about. There's probably going to be a scene where Luffy is born, and we see little baby Luffy, and Dragon is maybe holding him like, oh, I don't know about what do I do here. And then maybe you see Dragon's wife's like, yes, this is my baby. This is our baby. This is Luffy. And Dragon's like, I can't stand this. I'm not ready to be a dad. And he gives it over to hey, Garp, take this thing. And Garp's like, damn it, why do people keep giving me their kids? So yeah, that's the story from that perspective, though. We're gonna find out more about her from Dragon's end of things rather than being Luffy's mom. I don't think it's going to be like a situation like in Naruto when, like, Minato and Kushina were, like, protecting baby Naruto and, like, we have to make sure that our chakra is stored in him so that one day we get to see him again. Like, it's not going to be anything like that. Do you think it's possible for Luffy and Kaido to have Roger Whitebeard friendship? I don't think that's going to go down that way, no. Like two great rivals, but on kind of equal terms with each other, and they're still friendly. They still fight once in a while, but they're still on equal terms. I guess that would probably be, like, Kid or Law, but hasn't really been set up in that way yet. But I can't really think of anybody else in that regard right now from, like, Luffy's generation. I'm going to go back to the regular chat here in a moment. I'll do this one, and then hold on a minute. Oh, actually, we just have... Would you ever come up with... Okay, so we have two left, these two left here, and then I'm going to go back to the regular chat. Do you think Garling will get a yokai form? Well, he's definitely going to get a yokai form. That's, like, going to happen. And if so, what would you want it to be? I'm thinking wolf. A lot of people are saying wolf. Lupus. lupus caninus, whatever, because like he is the moon, so like woo, being a wolf, that would make sense. We haven't seen a wolf yet. I don't think Garling's going to turn into a giant spider. I think each of the yokai that they are, maybe the Gorosei get to decide that, or whatever power is given to them by Im, they get to choose. Like, I will give you my demonic power, member of the Gorosei. Now you get to decide what you want to transform into. I like that because it's funny that Peter would have just been like, I want to be a giant sandworm. Okay, unconventional, not really a yokai, but okay, I'll make you a giant sandworm, right? So I like to think that's how it is, and I think Garling gets to choose, and I think a wolf would be pretty intimidating. Would you ever just come up with One Piece character ideas for a video and then their name, power, and faction and their place in the world? Oh, that sounds like fun. We should do that. Yeah, I'm going to write that idea down, Liam. I'm going to write that down. That does sound like a good idea. Like, I just make up, like I make, 3 One Piece OCs. Or maybe I ask other YouTubers to make a One Piece OC, and then we all compare them in a live stream. Dude, you just gave me an amazing idea. I will mention you when we do that. I'm doing that now. I'm going to contact a couple of YouTubers. I have no idea when this is going to happen, but I'm going to contact some YouTubers and be like, hey, make a One Piece OC. Let's all come into a stream together, and let's talk about our One Piece OCs. Hold on, let me move it up there. Liam Kelly, thank you. All right, that's a good one. That's a good idea. All right. But I'm going to go back to the regular chat here for a moment. Ask Cole about that one. Yeah, I got to make a list. I got to make a list of some people to ask. Yeah. Make OCs and put them in one of your tournament brackets. Oh, shit. That would be crazy. Yeah. I'm going to be doing a tournament. The next grand tournament's going to be for the charity stream, which, by the way, side tangent, I'm just going to bring this up now because I forget. I did a community post about this. I'm going to mention this in the videos coming up, obviously. But this year's St. Jude charity stream will be on December 21st, 2024. That is a Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll probably go for 8 or 9 hours. I'm just going to throw that out there just for the sake of reminders to people. Mark your calendars and whatnot. We're going to be doing a One Piece Grand Tournament on that one again. Kind of the same thing we did last time with the different crazy challenges. We're going to do that again. And we're going to do some other stuff as well, so that'd be great. Randy has to be in it as well. Yeah, I'm going to ask Randy, ask Cole. Yeah, I got to ask a bunch of people. Oh, Murphy, I feel, would be fun for that, too. I don't know. We'll have to, we should do a bunch of these. We could do a few of these. It doesn't have to just be one. I don't want to do too many in one video, like 7 YouTubers all in the same one, because that might be a little bit too busy. But if we could do 3, so like me and then like 2 other YouTubers, and then they all come up with One Piece OCs, and then we get together and we have this. Like, that would be fun, yeah. What is the biggest functional weapon you own? You can own or you own? Me? The biggest functional weapon? Like, I don't know, my car? like I guess that counts, right? Like, I guess it would be my car. My house is bigger, but it's not very movable. I guess it would be my car. Can Luffy make Diamond Jozu stretch? Yeah, unless Jozu has hockey enough to resist Luffy's hockey, which I doubt, Luffy would be able to stretch Jozu like bubblegum. Like, that's how that would work, yeah. You see Jello Apocalypse OP video. I haven't seen that. No, I have not. Not the car. Car, definitely. I mean, like, if we're just being legit here, I mean, yeah. Are you ever going to come back to the UK? Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to come back to the UK at some point. Don't know when, but I'll definitely come back to the UK. Will you do an updated version of One Piece Isekai? Yeah, it's been a couple of years since we did One Piece Isekai. I kind of like explored that the way I wanted to do. I did like 3 or 4 episodes of that, and I felt like that was enough. We can maybe bring it back someday, though. Hey, Teching, last year during December, I told you I liked your background, and here I'm to say it again. Well, thank you. My happy little Christmas background here, and Barry's got his little Christmas setup. It's all fun. It's all fun. Did Vegapunk use Pika Pika no Mi to make Pacifista's laser, and if so, why no green blood? So I don't think, no, he did not use, I don't think, the direct Pika Pika no Mi to make the lasers. I think he just watched Kizaru using the laser beams, and he was able to engineer that, because he was able to incorporate that into the Pacifistas in the prototypes well before green blood was a thing. And he mentioned directly, I can't mimic a Logia exactly, okay? Logias are really, really tricky. I haven't been able to copy a Logia. That doesn't mean he won't be able to do it someday. But, well, the Stella's dead right now, but one of the satellites might be able to do it someday, but he just did not figure out how to do that. And I think that was also Oda just being like, I don't want to throw having artificial Logias into this story quite yet. Maybe at some point he'll do it again, but like not for right now, right? So at any rate, he was probably observing Kizaru's lasers, and he figured out a way to just make lasers, which is not impossible because we have laser tech in our world that doesn't have anything to do with devil fruits. So yeah. What happens if, what is something that if it happens will make you drop One Piece? I can honestly say this with a straight face. I don't think there's a single thing that'll make me stop reading One Piece. Even if Oda did something insane, like Luffy dies, like for real, I'm not going to drop it. I'm going to be like, all right, let's see where this is going. It's also like, dude, I've read this whole series up to like volume 111. You know, like I'm just going to stop here because something happened I didn't like. No, I want to see how this ends. Even if it ends horribly, which I doubt, but even if it were to end bad, even if Oda did a thing where all the Straw Hats died and Kid was the new main character or something, I'd be like, all right, well, let's see where he's going with this. Over 1,000 chapters in, and the Straw Hats still haven't found a devil fruit in the wild. Do you think they will find one resulting in a Straw Hat eating it? I want Vivi to eat a devil fruit. Vivi getting the Paw fruit or the Snow fruit, I think would be perfect. Devil fruits are rare. Finding them in the wild, you know, that's not a thing. A lot of the places the Straw Hats go are not like woods or foresty. I mean, like they go into like towns a lot. Like I can understand why they wouldn't find a devil fruit in like Dressrosa, for instance, right? What would you ever be willing to make more Hunter x Hunter content? Yeah, it's just a thing of like, I don't know how that would mix and match with my channel since YouTube doesn't really like it when you talk about more than one topic on a channel. Like, you know, I tried to do the Bleach stuff on the channel and that didn't go over well and I had to make a new channel for that. Which, by the way, I still need to do Bondcaster episode 36. That'll be out within either today or, well, maybe late tonight or tomorrow. That'll be out then. Yeah. I graduated high school yesterday. Congratulations! Also, I wanted to ask if you got my package. It's from Braden in Tennessee. I have a big pile of fan mail over here. I think I have enough to do a video. I might just open that also during the charity stream because that's coming up in like less than 2 weeks. And I'm going to have 8-9 hours to fill. So I'm probably just going to open fan mail during that as like a Christmas kind of thing. But let me check really quick. Let's see. No, it's Kevin. Yeah, I got it. And you know, just for this, well, just for the sake of this right now, I will open your package immediately. Because it was Retsu Unohana figurine from Bleach. Retsu, no, this is Yachiru. Yachiru. Yes, not Retsu. This is Yachiru. This is Sadako. Hi, Matt. This is Braden from Tennessee. I've been a watcher of your channel for like 4 years now. You've given me endless entertainment these last few years, so I thought I'd give you something to you for a change. This is a box. In this box is a busty figurine. Actually, Unohana isn't very busty, is she at all? She actually is. It's just she's not the kind of character that's going to flaunt that off, but now I don't know if it was just fan art or whatever, but I have seen her with rather large boobs. I thought since Bleach Core 3 is coming soon, I'd get you a Bleach figurine. To be honest, it's probably already come by the time this package arrives. But anyway, this letter is getting too long. I'd love to see you use it in a video sometime. Sincerely, Braden. Ichirukia for life. Yes, Ichirukia for life. Yeah, she is. Check Brave Souls. Yeah, I was going to say Brave Souls, if anything, was probably going to have it. Let's do a quick check here. Bleach, Brave Souls, Unohana. Like pretty much every female character. Oh, yeah. Yep. Hold up. Yeah, that's like a steampunk one. That is, I have seen that one before. That one is rather sexy. Hold on. Let me change that over to a JPEG, and here we go. Yeah. So Unohana, I said, Unohana is not, she doesn't show it off very often, you know, but damn. Yeah, there we have it. And there we have it. So in conclusion, Unohana from Bleach is busty. Okay, so moving on back to One Piece questions now. They're currently growing Monet's Devil Fruit. Dude, the Monet's Devil Fruit has to be on the Sunny. It has to be there. You know how I know? Come on! That's how I know. It just has to be. The Shifter, 1001, thanks for the $2 sticker. Bleach question. Okay, we're just doing Bleach questions now. I thought it was implied Kyoraku would die after using his Bankai. I go into this, I don't want to, because this is like a One Piece Q&A, I don't want to go into like a bunch of other series. I do go into that whole plot thread, that idea that I thought Shunsui's Bankai does like kill him as well. I do go into that in the last Boncast episode at the very end. So after he uses the thread cutting technique against Lilia, I do go into like a whole thing there. So go check that out for my opinions on that. Hey, Blackbeard joined Whitebeard Pirates to get the dark fruit. Could it be because it allows him to absorb others? It was stated the reason he joined the Whitebeard Pirates is because he thought that gave him the best chance of him finding it, and it still took him like decades, but he eventually did find it, so that makes sense. I don't know if it definitely has the ability to absorb people in the sense that he can suck people into the darkness. Does that mean like he sucks people into the darkness and they can never escape, or he absorbs all of their power and their haki if he does that? Could be. We've just, because the Devil Fruit ability, like he negates Devil Fruit powers by touching them. He doesn't gain those powers, though. If he absorbed Ace, maybe he could have absorbed the Mera Marinomi too. Could that be an awakening of the fruit? That kind of jazz. I'm not really sure. Yeah. That's at least the reason he joined the Whitebeard Pirates was given. Where does That's a Paddling come from? It's from a Simpson episode. Just go on YouTube and type in The Simpsons, That's a Paddling. There's a character named Jasper who's like an old dude that's friends with Grandpa Simpson, and he's talking to the students at Springfield Elementary, and he's like, back in my day, that was a paddling, paddling the school canoe. Oh, you better believe that was a paddling. Talking out of turn, that's a paddling, so yeah. Random question, would you rather watch Aramaki tree grow or Aokiji knee grow? Damn it. Damn it. Is that, there was another one of those years ago when somebody was basically like, this is what happens when you talk really fast when you do videos. But back in the day, there was another one where it was like, hey, teching, my birthday is today. My name is James. And I'd be like, happy birthday, James. And then there was another one that was like, hey, teching, I have a birthday, and my name is Steven. And it's like, thank you, Steven. And then there was another one that was like, hey, teching, my name is Nick. And then there's another thing, and I just, hey, how you doing? And I'm just like, I did that too. I'm like, I gotta slow down sometimes. Damn it. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes, man. Damn internet. All right. Okay, so moving on then. Second super chat. I had one earlier you missed. How does haki affect Devil Fruits? If Luffy were to hit Jozu and haki, would it bypass the diamond? Same with Akainu. Would haki negate the heat and burning from magma? So it's kind of like a thing where, like, haki was mentioned to be able to override pretty much like any Devil Fruit ability, right? If you just have enough of it. So in the case with Law, he was able to override Doc Q's ability, right? He was just like exert enough haki. But how does that go though? Like, what's the total extent of that? Because the idea, like with Big Mom using her soul pocus, like let's say she rips the soul out of somebody and like reduces their lifespan, like Pedro, that happened with Pedro. So let's say Pedro just overexerts, he trains with haki, well he's dead now, but you know what I mean? Like if Pedro were to just gain enough haki and train with it, would he be able to just like exert the haki and just be like, and then like get his lifespan back and like negate the powers of the Devil Fruit? I don't think that's how it would work. If Moria were to steal somebody's shadow, right? Moria steals a shadow, and then you exert haki, would the shadow just rip back and then from the marionette or whatever and just come back to you? I don't think that's how that would work. So certain Devil Fruit abilities can be negated with haki, and others clearly cannot. And it's just a fun little, maybe that would be the question I would ask Oda, exactly. That would be the one. Like, if somebody had their shadow stolen by Moria and then exerted haki, would they be able to get it back just automatically? So what's the limit there, right? From June. I read a fun theory for Loki's Devil Fruit ability. Viking God of Ragnarok and Roll and Real Comic had some interesting evidence and suggested it worked like Brooks Fruit with soul energy with the electric guitar. So I like that idea. In fact, a lot of people have been comparing Loki to, if you've ever seen Dexter's Laboratory back in the day, they did Val Allen, who was like the god of rock and roll in like Viking mythology, but it was like Thor mixed with, Van Halen, So they do that, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool that like Loki might have that comparison there, right? Part 2. It's called Loki of the Underworld. My mind goes to a fruit tied to the underworld and could be a semi-mix of Brooke and Uta's. What are your thoughts? Reminds me of Van Halen from Dex. Oh yeah, exactly. I was just saying that. So, Loki's fruit is definitely something that is dangerous enough that could destroy all of Elbaf, which is why they chained him to the tree with the sea prism and all that. Definitely could have done that. And then Oda could flavor it in a way that is scary, but also really badass, like that. So, like, Loki, I mean, it wouldn't be busting out like an electric guitar or anything like that, but like the power of sound or music and soul energy, but like super powerful. Think of it like I was going to say an upgraded form of Brooke's fruit, because Brooke manipulates souls. That would be Big Mom's, because Big Mom's literally is the soul fruit. Yeah. I just hope it's not a zone. I really don't want it to be a zone either, to be honest with you. Because we've just had so many. We've had so many dinosaurs in Wano, and then we had the mythical zones in we had a mythical zone with Luffy's, and then Kaido's, and then Yamato's, and it's so much. And it's just like, I want this to either be a Logia or a special Paramecia. We only got one special Paramecia, and we got 100. Thank you, from Emmanuel. How is the name of the ancient kingdom not... I don't know. I get the feeling I'm going to be... I don't know how to pronounce these words. Crazy thoughts, thanks for listening. I don't know. I mean, like, we don't know anything about the name of the ancient kingdom right now. We might learn about it. I mean, I'm honestly kind of surprised we didn't learn about it during Vegapunk's message. Like, Vegapunk should have that information, and I do not know why he didn't just reveal that, since he was spilling all the beans during the message anyway, right? So I don't know why they wouldn't just do that. But thank you for the 100, Emmanuel. And we're going to probably find about it pretty close, I would imagine. Do you believe Kinemon... by the way, the fact that we just found... We still haven't found out about the name. Okay, like, so much time has passed, and Vegapunk knows it, and he still didn't say it, is, I think, extremely relevant in the sense that when we hear the name of the ancient kingdom, it's going to be like, whoa, that means a lot. That's a big deal. Which I was thinking, like, what if the name of the ancient kingdom is the root origin for the name pirate? So pirate in Japanese is Kaizoku. What if the name of the ancient kingdom was Kaizoku, or was like, the country of pirates or something like that, of that nature, right? Maybe. Do you think Luffy made a deal with Loki to kill Akainu? No, no, I don't think that was the first deal that, and I like, once the same thing, I've talked about this before. Loki's first deal was like, free me and I'll kill anybody you want. I don't think Luffy would have taken that deal, because Luffy doesn't want other people to fight his battles for him. Like, oh, I'm going to go kill Akainu, or I'm going to go kill, Blackbeard or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think Luffy would take that, because that's just not how Luffy does things. There was some other deal involving Shanks is what he took. I think it's possible he has the sun fruit. That's why he thinks he's the sun god, and I have a theory about Loki. Yeah, so that's another thing I've brought up, and the idea that, yes, it's either he has the actual Gumu Gumu no Mi, which would be interesting that was on Elbaf the entire time. That's why it's not in the encyclopedia, because not every devil fruit is in the encyclopedia. So that would be interesting there. The other angle of it is, whoa. My screen crashed. Hold on a minute here. What happened with that? Are we still streaming? We're still streaming, I think. Can you guys still hear me right now? Yeah, I'm still here. Okay. That was weird. That was just my screen crashed for some reason. All right. Crash moment. All right, pull it back. Okay. Yeah. You missed my super chat. I'm going to go back through them. Don't worry about that. We're going to get them. Yeah, you can still hear me. Okay, good. Did you get snow in PA? Yeah, we got snow last week. It was really snowy and drizzly and annoying, and now it's like 60 degrees outside. I went for a walk earlier today. I went for a walk to go get my mail and stuff like that because the Pennsylvania weather this time of year is all over the damn place. Yeah, my YouTube app keeps crashing after an ad plays. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube's been, I don't know what the deal is with it. For getting a super chat, that's a paddling. Yeah. Okay. So, $50, it's modern day Hispaniola. Oh, okay. I know where that is now. Okay. I did not know that. I didn't know that was the old name for it. Cool. I'll look into that. Because I definitely know where Hispaniola is. It's where Haiti and the Dominican, it's the island where Haiti and Dominican Republic share that, like, space on that same island. The name of the island is Hispaniola. Thank you, Emmanuel, though. Going to do a new room tour for your basement. Not a lot has really changed. I've done a room tour down here before. It was a couple of years ago when I moved in. But yeah, I mean, like, nothing really has changed much except now I have this glass display case for all the figurines I have. And now I'll put, like, Unohana in there, I suppose. What events around One Piece do you think will occur after we cut away from Elbaf following Vegapunk's message? Interestingly, I wonder if Oda's going to do this like he did with Wano, like throughout the arc sporadically, and Egghead as well. Is like halfway through the arc, it's like we have to take a break and see what's going on in the rest of the world, which that seems to be the general vibe Oda has to do now, and I think he is going to continue to do that. So we're probably going to have like a break at some point and then cut away to see what's going on with that. But yeah, a lot of places are rebelling. Some places are probably not going to care about Vegapunk's message because they're kind of just like, what are we going to do about this? Like, what are we going to have? Like the world is flooding. What are we going to do? Other places are going to start panicking. Like Dragon stated, the whole world is going to be driven into chaos by this, and that's going to upset a lot of things. Vegapunk pretty much flipped the whole table here. Yeah, and so we're going to have to see what the results of that are, and I hope to see that before we cut away. Like we go through all of Elbaf, and then we cut around the world. What were you about to say about the other angle? Yeah, I feel like I lost my train of thought for something there. I can't remember what that was now, though. I can't remember. It's Shiki on Elbaf when it's clearly Wang Zhi. No, it's Shiki, man. It's Shiki. You know why I know it's Shiki? It's because it just kind of is. It's just Shiki. No, I didn't end up making the portable Hootie from Owl House. Although Hootie is, you can kind of see him. He's right there. Just his face is there. I was thinking about making him, and I just kind of never did. A lot of projects I started and it just kind of stopped. Yeah. The King of Artists, the natives have no such word. It was, okay. I don't know how to pronounce that, so I don't want to even attempt it. So I'm going to have to go and learn into phonetics and how that works, yes. But okay. Nice. I will go look into that. Thank you for the $200 now, Emmanuel. Damn. How lost can Zoro get on Elbaf? He's surprisingly not that lost yet. It's funny that the Straw Hats are so aware of this problem now that they're like making sure he can't go anywhere kind of situation, right? Boa and Yamato half-sisters, yay or nay? Nay. No, I'm going to go no on that one. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let's go back through the super chats here. Oh, man. I love doing these videos, but there's so much to keep track of. All right. I have been a long-time listener. I watched all of your One Piece videos and always look forward to them. Do you think you'd ever come to the West Coast for a guest appearance? Well, I've already been to the West Coast once. We did Anime Expo back in 22. I think I might be going again next year in 2025. I'm not entirely sure. So we didn't go anywhere in 23 because I had like something else going on that weekend. And then we did London last year. So I do want to go back to the West Coast at one point. I also visited San Francisco at one point, and that was really fun. So I'd love to go back there. And yeah, we'll see what happens next year. And if we're maybe going to get a panel going. I know Noble lives out there, you know, Lost Paws. So, you know, he would always be doing AX. But yeah, it really just comes down to whether or not like Rustage and Spooky and Briggs and everybody could be, you know, free and available to go out to LA for that. Do you believe Kinemon knew that Kanjuro was the traitor deep down? I really genuinely don't. I think after he found out Kanjuro was the traitor, the dots began to connect and he was just like, like that kind of situation, right? Like that happened. But like it all makes sense now. But he's not going to question that at the time. Like, I think, Kanjuro is the one. But it's crazy considering we went through that whole arc of Dressrosa. One of the main plot threads of Dressrosa was to rescue Kanjuro, and he was a traitor the whole time. How would a storm fruit match up against the Gura no Mi? I mean, the Gura no Mi is able to make tremors in the air, like shockwaves. It's not just on the ground. So the idea is like maybe Dragon summons a storm, Whitebeard punches the air so damn hard it like breaks up the clouds and like sends and disperses them. But that would be an apocalyptic level battle. That would be intense to witness that. If all the kids that have helped the Straw Hats, Momo, Tama, Bonnie, formed a pirate crew, how far could they get in the new world? So Bonnie is a special exception because, she has a crazily powerful devil fruit. Tama is just a kid. I mean, she has a devil fruit that lets her have animals like help her and stuff, but I mean, that might help her out a little bit. Momo is powerful. I mean, he's learning his dragon fruit. I don't think he would be killed. I don't think they would be killed immediately, considering Bonnie has made it into the new world a significant amount by herself. If she had a crew that could help her, I would say, they could get decently into the new world. I don't think that crew is finding the One Piece or anything like that. And if they rolled up against like Kaido or Big Mom, that would be a problem. Because if it's like Momo 1v1ing Kaido, I mean, that's not happening. But they could make it further than you'd probably expect. When I read 1132, I got the idea that it was implied that the mystery man at the end was not Shiki, he was the Louis Arnault. What do you think? That's a theory that's out there. Like, he's actually Louis the entire time. Maybe Louis is not as old as we think he is. He could be like 90. He could have written his book like 70 years ago or something. That would make sense. Or maybe Louis is immortal, or Louis is another, like for some reason he's like 300 years old or some shit. I mean, it's One Piece. It's fiction. You could figure out any number of ways to make a person super old. But I think it's Shiki because vibes. Would you rather Loki's devil fruit be a Logia or a Sun fruit? Nah, it's got to be. I want it to be a Paramecia, special Paramecia or a Logia. It can't be. Oh yeah, I mean, like you're asking me about like it being a Logia. Yeah, I would like it to be a Logia, but I don't know what Logia could be other than like nuclear power, like the radiation power of the sun. Being a Logia would be really powerful there. Where does That's a Paddling come from? I answered that one. Looking forward to the charity stream, do you think that Loki is just a chaotically evil character or just misunderstood by the Giants and in actuality can end up as an ally to Luffy? Greetings from Israel. Thank you. And yeah, come on down to the charity stream on the 21st. Do you think that Loki is just a chaotically evil character? I don't think he's chaotic evil. I don't think he is. I think that he is sort of reveling. There's a little bit of Doflamingo in him. And he's kind of reveling right now in that, like, chaos. So, chaotic neutral, maybe even chaotic good. And I think there's a lot of comparisons with him and Luffy. And I would say Luffy is, like, chaotic good, chaotic neutral kind of character. So, I don't think chaotic evil, though. No. All right. You've grown more monotonous and boring. I'm disappointed, Tekking. I gotta find someone who's a little bit more... Oh, okay. Whoa. That was a phone call I'll get to later. I'm sorry I've grown monotonous and boring. I'm sorry, Emmanuel. I'm sorry. I'll have to step it up a little bit there. Do you think there is a double agent from the Revolutionary Army or world government? In either organization? I could definitely see that. I could see a double agent in the world government that's a revolutionary, and I could see it vice versa. It's interesting that Oda has actually not done that yet. We've had it like Drake secretly being a member of SWORD, but he's really in, I mean, he's a pirate, but he's really a member of SWORD, which is part of the Marines. We've seen that, but we haven't really seen the revolutionaries, like, as their organization in general, we really haven't seen much of, like, that fleshed out. We got a little bit now with the, generals and everything like that, but, we haven't seen that completely, so I want to see that explored more. Have you seen the theory that Otto is Oda's daughter? No, I haven't seen that. So Otto is the idol that voices Uta, or it was Uta's. I don't know if she voices Uta all throughout the movie. I don't think she does. She's Uta's singing voice in Film Red is Ado, who is an actual Japanese like idol. And I don't think we know her face because some idols are like, they just do their music. So I don't know that theory. I've never seen that theory. I guess I'll have to look into that at some point to see how that goes. But I don't know. Do you think Boa will find Luffy in the New World? Yeah, Boa is going to the New World at some point there, just for the sake of like linking up all these characters. They have to get them all together again. So get them back in there, I suppose. Another $50 one. Theory: what if Gear 5th isn't so much an awakening, but rather his full animal form? Think about it. Gear 2nd and 3rd are just him borrowing the power. Gear 4th is his hybrid form, and Gear 5th is, But what if there's more, a true awakening? So I don't think we're going to get Gear 6th. I don't think there's going to be another form beyond this. I think all of the stuff that Luffy's going to be able to do, he's going to be more wacky stuff with Gear 5th, and Oda's going to have a lot of fun, because that's basically the idea. Like, we've now entered a new stage where it's like Oda can draw Luffy with pretty much any wacky power he wants, and it makes sense. If he wants to rip out a tree and make a baseball bat and hit a bomb back at the Gorosei, and pull, like, random shit out of nowhere, like, here's goggles and here's a helmet and whatever, and batter up, like, he could do that. No problemo. Like, so not a big deal. But, yeah. I don't think we're going to get Gear 6. Now, when it comes to his truest form, he might, like, because this is the form of the sun god, right? So does the sun god actually look like this? I always assumed Luffy could turn into any animal he wanted because he has full malleability and control over his body. Like, if Luffy wanted to turn into a dragon and fight Kaido as a dragon, he could have done that. Like, because the idea is he's the most free in this form. So, it's very possible he could do that. But thank you for the 50. Yeah, I want to see more crazy stuff with Luffy's Gear 5th, but I think that's the final form he's going to have. Could the other entrance to the White Sea that Gonfall mentioned be in the Heaven region of Elbaf? Yeah, we talked about this earlier. You could maybe get up into the White Sea. I mean, we're already getting at a high enough altitude where Island Cloud can exist. So there's no reason why you couldn't gain access to the White Sea once you get to the top of the Heaven layer. I just don't think that's High West. I think there's multiple ways to get up there, not just High West in the knock-up stream. That's what Gonfall said in his little area that he was aware of. Gonfall had the title of God, but that doesn't mean he was God over the entire sky all over the world. It was just that little region of Skypiea and Angel Island and Upper Yard and everything. That's what made up Skypiea. Yeah. How are you? What is the range of Luffy awakening? Do you think Oda will add another reference to Yule, or their mother or father to the story? So, like, the range is, I mean, like, he can't affect things like, an island away or anything like that, but I think Oda's going to be kind of generous when it comes to the range of, like, Luffy grabbing objects and turning them into things and using them to fight, because that's kind of the whole point of the ability. Dude, I can even imagine Luffy, like, pulling up, like reaching up into the sky, grabbing a cloud and bringing it down and turning that into something that he uses against the enemy, because it's the idea that he can kind of just do whatever. That's kind of the ultimate ability of Gear 5th. Can't think of a good question, just wanted to support. What if Saul ends up being the big bad of Elbaf? No. No, we're not doing that. Although people are worried that Saul might die, because it's just like, no, Saul, Robin is reunited, everything feels so good, and then Saul dies. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Saul's not gonna die. Tekking, I found the One Piece. I don't want to know what it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah. I don't want to know that. Please don't tell me what the One Piece is. How lost can Zoro get? Okay, we've gotten all those. All right, I think we're going to go back to the regular chat here for a moment. I'm going to go back to that. Tipping to be a Karen. What a time to be alive. Hey, man, I don't know. I'm sorry. I've read a little bit on that area because I like reading about history. So I know, like, Columbus arrived in that area and the Taino people were living in that land. I just don't know much about the Taino, like, language and where the words originate and how to pronounce them. I'm sorry. I'm a student of history, but there's a lot of history, so I gotta read more about that, I suppose. Tekking, on the color spread of 1094, it shows the Shimotsuki clan there was an unfamiliar face on the top left of the color spread. Do you know that or who it could be? Yeah, let's look that up. 1094. We can look that up. Yeah, I can see that happening. Could Kid control Bellamy's springs? Yeah, they seem to turn into actual metal. So, yeah, I didn't get to your first one. I will go back, Hunter. In a second, I will go back and read your first one. All right, what do we got here? Oh, okay. I'm pretty... So that person in the top left here could be Ryuma when he was still alive. Could have been him. Maybe it was Zoro's dad, or Pin Zoro, his grandfather. Yeah, so here are all the members of the Shimotsuki family. Since Ryuma is represented by a zombie, I'm going to assume that it's not Ryuma. So we got Ushimaru and Yasuie, Kuina, Kozaburo, Koshiro, Zoro. Yeah, it's very possible that that could be Zoro's dad or his grandfather. I think would probably make the most sense. Yeah. Tekking, do you think the sun god could just be the king of the sun level of Elbaf, similar to Skypiea, where Gonfall had the title of god? Yeah, I mean, like, I like the idea that the sun god is an actual deity. Does the deity live up there in the heaven layer? Well, if there's any other... By the way, the other translation of that place could be astral layer, heaven layer, celestial layer. There's a couple of ways to, translate it out. Yeah, I'm just saying, if there is an afterlife in One Piece, that's confirmed by Brook. There's an afterlife. He turned into a soul, he tried to leave, and then he got knocked back down. So there is an afterlife. I don't think the heaven layer is going to be that afterlife, but it might be a place of cosmic significance. Like maybe you go up there and you see like not real ghosts, but people actually, I brought this up in the video and people compared it to the far plane from Final Fantasy X, where in the far plane you can kind of just like, oh, we're in the far plane, so we could kind of like talk to the people that have died here. It's kind of like a waiting room for the dead. Like you go in there and be like, I want to talk to my dead great grandfather. Be like, okay, woo, I'm here. It's kind of like that. Yeah. The actual sun god living in the heaven plane, I don't feel like that's the direction Oda's going to go with it, no. If you had to switch lives with one Piece character, who would you pick? I probably would not pick any of the Straw Hats or anybody that's out there, in battle and constantly getting the shit kicked out of them and dying. I am thinking Gear 5th will have different forms. Yeah, I mean, like, different forms, sure, but I don't think Luffy's gonna call them, like, in the same way of Gear 4th, like, Tank Man, Snake Man, stuff like that. I think, like, Luffy turns into a dragon, but I don't think that's gonna be, like, I mean, I guess he could call it, like, Luffy Dragon Mode, or, Bear Mode, or something like that, but it's still all gonna just be Gear 5th. It's just a molding of his body, because that's how he can do stuff now. Yeah, I'd choose Gaimon. I don't want to be Gaimon. I don't want to be stuck in a chest. Maybe if it was Gaimon before he was stuck in the chest. I don't want to be stuck in a treasure chest my whole life. That seems like a horrible way to live. I don't know. I'd probably pick who's you know what? I'd pick Yosaku. Because Yosaku is living a good life on Kokoyashi Village. He's super buff. He's a fisherman. Everything's great. Everything's fine. He's in good health. He's fine. He doesn't have to worry about fighting Yonko or anything anymore. Yeah. Who is my favorite admiral? Right now, I'd say it's probably Fujitora. Fujitora, because he's the one that I think is most likely to just be like, well, Kizaru too is like had enough of this shit, but Fujitora is like the moral compass of the admirals at the moment. Like he has the best answer to that. So yeah. Do you think Oda will add another reference to Yule? I don't know what that is, so I'd have to go and check that out. And or their mother, yeah. Yule, I don't know what Yule. Yeah. Wish you good day, night. Oh, we got a lot of influx at once here. Hold on a minute. Hold up. Wish you good day, night. God bless you, Mark. Okay. My name's Matt, but close enough. How much time passed between the start of Luffy's journey and time skip and between. So me and Artur just went over this, and Artur explained it, and it's like a couple of months from when Luffy left Fuchsia Village. If you account for everything that we know of time passing, it's like 2-3 months, which is insane. And then since the time skip, it's also been like, I think Wano lasted the longest because Wano was like a whole month in Wano because of the waiting for the Fire Festival and everything. So I think in Wano, though, it's been like another 3-4 months. I mean, in the New World, like another 3-4 months. And then a 2-year time skip, obviously. So like, it not as much time as you think. Personally, it feels to me that it's been like 3.5 years, including the time skip. Like slightly less than a year pre-time skip, and then like 6 or 7 months or so post-time skip, and then factor in the 2 years. So like 2 years plus almost another year plus like 6 months, like 3 years for 5 months, something like that. Yeah. Do you think one of the Straw Hats will die, sacrifice themselves down the line? Well, if it has to be, I'm just going to say it has to be Chopper. It's got to be Chopper. Matt is now Mark. My name is now Mark. Dude, I was, so for the longest time, when I went to the place to get my, like, oil changed in my car, right? Like, I would go there, and they would be like, I'd be like, yeah, I'm here to get my oil changed, and I'd give them my name, and then they would type me in the computer, and, yeah, it was like, they was like, Matthew Crocker? And I'm like, no, my name is Matthew Crawford. And they just like, oh, okay, whatever. It has Crocker in here. And I like, this went on for years. And I just finally was just like, can you please change my name to Crawford? And they're just like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And they never did it. And the next time I had to be, not really a Karen, but I had to be like, look, can you change my name on there? He's like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'm like, yeah, they said that last time. Could you please just do it now? And like, okay. And they did it. And it's just like, yeah, my name is not like, I'm like I think Mr. Crocker from like the Fairly Odd Parents, like Fairly Odd Parents, you know, it's just like, I'm not, yeah, that's not my name. It's not my name, man. All right. Have you watched the One Piece is Hilarious videos? Oh yeah, I love Goofy stuff. Goofy stuff is great. I feel like Nico Robin will die, if anything. No, Robin. See, that's the thing what I mean, like dropping the series. Robin is one of my favorite characters. Frankie is my favorite character. If Frankie and Robin were to just die, I'm not going to be like, screw this, Oda. I'm not reading anything after this. I'd keep going. I'd keep going because I'd want to know where this goes. I'd be like, all right, some of the Straw Hats died. How is Oda going to write this in? How are the other crew going to handle it? How is this going to happen? I'd be upset, but I'd be like, I want to know more about where this is going. Oh, definitely. Some people would. Some people would, definitely. Remember when Bleach ended and there were people taking their tankobons and like burning them in their backyard? I would never do that. There was a joke once in one of my Bleach reviews where I pretended to like burn my Bleach volumes, but I didn't actually. I would never like, oh, One Piece ended and I didn't like the ending. I'm going to burn all my manga. Like, I would never do that. Never. Yeah. You don't just kill my favorite characters for no reason, so it better be good. That's what I mean. Like, Oda would never do it for no reason. But even if he did do it for no reason, even if, like, Robin and Frankie died in the next chapter with no pomp and circumstance, they just died, I'd be like, oh, well, that sucks, but I'm still going to keep on reading. Yeah. That's stupid. Never burn manga and art in general. I mean, like, that's me personally. If you want to, like, hey, if there's, like, a piece of art that you own and you want to burn it for the sake of, like, I don't know, like, you know, protest or something, like I'm doing this for a reason, or I'm burning this art to make better art or make a different interpretation of art, go right ahead. It's if you own the art, you do whatever you want with it. It's just like, I would never personally burn my manga. Yeah. Do you think Joy Boy's crew and the hockey knot will be covered more before Laugh Trail? Oh yeah, definitely. Too Spooky started playing Minecraft with Rustage. Could you please join them? I really don't want to play Minecraft. I'm sorry, dude. I know everybody's like, play Minecraft. I'm like, I really don't feel it. I really don't want to play that game. Nothing against people that play Minecraft. I'm just not, I just don't want to, it's not my thing, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just don't feel it. We will not stop. Okay, well, I'll keep giving you the same answer. That is how it goes. What's your favorite outfit each Straw Hat wore in each arc? I loved Robin's outfit in Thriller Bark, the purple with the kind of like lace on the end of it. I liked Nami's first outfit in Water 7 when she had the shirt, the blue shirt and the white tie. I thought that was a really sleek look for her. Let's see. Luffy's favorite outfit. I like the yellow vest during Impel Down. The yellow vest and then Marineford variant Luffy. I like that one the best from Luffy. Let's see. Zoro's outfits in Sanji's favorite was also Water 7 when he kind of drops the suit and he wore just the vest, like the orange shirt and the vest. Thought that was a really nice look for him. Frankie's outfit in the movie was really good, where he has the leather jacket. Also, the leather jacket here in Egghead. This might be Frankie's favorite design for me right now. Not in Egghead, sorry, in Elbaf. If you had to pick any One Piece character to become the mayor of my town, who would you pick and why? Whoop Slap! Whoop Slap will be the mayor of my town, and he will rule justly and fairly with his mighty cane. Mr. Matt Crocker. Fairly Odd Parents! Yeah. Do you think Poseidon has the power to control dragons, since they categorize as fish? Yeah, interesting enough. Although, mermaids are unable to speak to fishmen. I mean, mermaids are unable to speak to sea kings. Fishmen, some fishmen can. Jinbei can, but that's unusual. It's not a common thing. So, some fishmen can communicate with fish. All mermaids can communicate with fish. But neither of them can communicate with sea kings, except for the mermaid princess Poseidon. Kaido's fruit is the Ua Ua no Mi, which is the fish fruit. I don't know how that would work. Then again, the Ua Ua no Mi follows a very specific, like, folk tale in Japanese, where it's a koi fish that swims up a waterfall and then ascends the top and becomes a dragon. That's a very specific story there. So Kaido's awakening might be like, his original form might have just been like koi fish, but then he awakened the fruit and became a dragon. Like, that might be the awakening of the power, right? And then that DNA was extracted from Vegapunk, by Vegapunk, and then maybe Vegapunk made the awakened form as the artificial fruit that Momonosuke consumed. And so he skipped right to dragon? Maybe. Yeah. Is there any major character whose backstory we haven't seen that you aren't really interested in? Oh, I mean, I could name off just a random background character in One Piece. I don't really care for, like, Kobe's. We found out what kingdom Kobe was from recently. Kobe is from the Satsuzuro Kingdom. Yeah, Satsuruzo Kingdom. That's where he's from. I don't really care, though. I don't really care about Kobe's upbringing and his parents and how he ended up, like, on, like, you know, where were his parents at when he was out fishing? Was he an orphan or something? Like, I really don't particularly care about that. Kaido used Splash. Boom! And he hits you with his club. Could Frankie be the son of Rocks? No, Frankie is most likely the son of Queen, from what we know about one of these informations revealed about that in the Vivre card. Queen did have a child. Do you think once the crew reached Raftel or Laugh-Tale, we learned that the true location of One Piece is actually Reverse Mountain? Because I looked at the map of the world and it's rotated. It forms an X. Yeah, like, Reverse Mountain does form an X. Maybe Laugh-Tale is under Reverse Mountain. Wherever it is, it's not easy to get to. Like, that's the point. It's not easy to get to this location. It's not the place you can just sail to and stop and be like, we're here now. The Marines would have done it by now. Either it's surrounded by weather patterns or a labyrinth or some other, it's like under the ocean, or it's in the sky, or it's somewhere or it's in underground. It's in the cavern below Reverse Mountain or something. It's not easy to get to by any metric. Yeah. When am I coming to Finland? I want to go to Finland. Finland's fun. Okay, we got to go through some super chats that I forgot about. Okay, let's see what we got here. Getting a lot of super chats. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody for the super chats, but damn. Getting a lot of these today. Where are we at? We're about an hour and 15. We'll probably go for like another 10 minutes or so, I'd say. Yeah. Got to keep it flowing with these. Got to get moving. Okay. We are closing in on the end of One Piece. Do you think we will have some characters' deaths started happening, and who? Yeah, I mean, definitely going to be some character deaths. I don't think the Straw Hats are going to die. Law might die. Shanks might die. I mean, we're going to see some dead. Garp might still die. Garp's not dead right now, but Garp could die. Like, that's still on the table there. Dragon could die. Who else do we like that could die? Let's see. Members of the Grand Fleet. Cavendish might die. Bartolomeo might die. Leo might die. And I know that's just going to ruin everybody's day if Leo dies. Leo's everybody's favorite character. Orlumbus could die. Can you imagine if Orlumbus died? The community would be in shambles. But yeah, people are going to die, and we're going to see that coming up here. I mean, we saw way more deaths in Wano than like any other in One Piece. Izo is dead. Izo basically got off-screened. Ashura Doji just died like that. So, yeah. I'm actually kind of sad that Izo did die. Just because I feel like we didn't explore as much as we could have with Izo. Like, there could have been more information with Izo, and we just didn't go there. You know? When we will get Doll meeting Saul next? I mean, I want to see Doll again just because she's Doll and she's awesome. You know, it'd be cool to see her again, but I don't know if she's going to show up at Elbaf. Any 2025 predictions? We're going to be in Elbaf all year. I think that's an easy one. I don't think we're going to be done with Elbaf by the end of next year. We're going to have some breaks along the way, too. I hope we have, like, we break away to see what up with Garling and stuff in, like, Marijois and, like, the revolutionaries all over the world. We're going to find out who the mystery person is, which is clearly Shiki. We're going to find out what really happened with the death of King Harold. Usopp's going to have some big character development in 2025. You heard it here first, man. You heard it here first. Do you think there is a hidden reason why the Dukes made Carrot a queen? Technically, she's a duchess. It just makes no sense, and they seem sus about it. Yeah, I mean, like, this is one of those things where, like, Oda just had to get rid of Carrot. Like, Carrot needs to go back to Zoe, but she has to have a good reason, because I think otherwise Carrot might have just wanted to hang out with the Straw Hats, and maybe Oda was like, yeah, I really don't want her to have... I don't want Carrot to join the crew. So she has to go back to Zoe. I need to come up with a good reason on why she would go back to Zoe, and then Ino Arashi and Nekomamushi just make her the new leader of the country, and that's insane because she's like 15 years old. But there's child and like teenage emperors in like history from like Egypt and like Greece and stuff like that. So, and she has like advisors, and that's how like Wanda is her advisor, and there's Sicilian and everybody like that that's going to help her. But it really did come off to me as just like, I need a reason for why she just goes back to Zoe. And that's the reason why he came up with it, because it would make more sense for Sicilian to be the ruler. Even making Wanda the ruler would make way, way more sense than Carrot. But I understand what they were doing. They were thinking of like the future generation and everything like that. But, you know, like I'm sure Carrot will be a fine ruler. She's learning how to do stuff right now, and then, like, give it a few years, and she'll, like, ascend the throne and become, like, a proper ruler of the country. But it's just going to take some time, and it came off that way to me. Who will each Straw Hat marry, hypothetically, of course? Yeah, like Oda said multiple times, like, we're not romancing the Straw Hats. I'm going to go Robin and Frankie are going to get married. And while we're doing this, Sanji and Nami finally tie the knot. We'll just do that. Why not? Sure. All right. Now, what I'm actually going to do, hold on a minute. Let me go back to the regular chat here for a second. I'm actually going to pull up on this side. I'm going to pull up like the full list of super chats so me to go through those to find hunters here. Do I drink? I was having pizza with my friends last night at this place, and my friend ordered a pumpkin beer. And the pumpkin beer had, like, brown sugar around the rim of the glass, and he's like, oh, that was a really good beer. You want a sip? And I had, like, a drink of that. And it tasted good. It was a really good beer, but I don't drink. I've never been drunk. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, no, wait, no, not that one. Super chats. Super chat page. Okay. I had one earlier you missed. Okay, let's see. I have a theory. Shanks was the best swordsman in the world before he lost his arm. Then he focused exclusively on developing his haki. That's why Mihawk is so bored and searching for new challengers. I mean, yeah, he's very clearly a very strong swordsman. Here's the thing. We have never seen Mihawk go full power at any point in this story. He did that against Shanks when they fought. We never saw that battle. Okay, I mean, it's implied, you know, they were going all out in that fight. If Mihawk went full battle, full power, I am sure his Haki would rival Shanks. Maybe that's going too far. Maybe a lot of you think like, oh, there's no way Mihawk's Haki is the same level as Shanks. But I think it is. I think it's around that level comparably. So they're comparable on that level. It's just that because Mihawk has 2 arms and Shanks only has 1, then Mihawk views like Shanks as like, it's not going to be fun because we have comparable Haki, but you are going to be weaker than me because you lost an arm, right? But then again, I don't think they've dueled since he lost his arm. I think that's more of like Mihawk just assuming, right? Mihawk is a fraud. Nah, he's not a fraud. He's a frog. He turns into a frog. Roger was the world's greatest swordsman. I mean, that's also conjecture just based off of like we've never seen Roger go full power either. But I would assume full power Roger in his prime versus full power Mihawk in his prime. I assume Roger would win. You missed mine too? All right. Well, that's why I have this pulled up. What Nen types would each Straw Hat be? Okay, that's a big question. I can even maybe make a video about that one, actually, because that's interesting of itself. I have to start combining Nen and Hunter x Hunter content with One Piece content. I'll have to do that maybe. Figure that. That's how it leaks in. I start by doing Hunter x Hunter and One Piece content mixed together and then just go off on its own with Hunter x Hunter content. There we go. I would say Luffy would be an enhancer right away because he's the most straightforward. That's easily a thing. Let's see. Zoro, I think. I feel like Zoro I could see being a transmuter, like turning his swords into like different things. Sanji would be a transmuter because that's what like the fire is. Robin would be conjurer. Frankie would be, and I'm just going off the top of my head here. Frankie would be emitter. Brook would be also an emitter because he's like emitting his soul power to like change people's opinions and mess with their brains a little bit. I'm gonna get back to your super chats. Don't worry, I have the list pulled up. We're gonna go through those. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do, because we are close to the end of the stream now. I'm going to turn off super chats for now. Thanks to everybody that super chat. I'm going to turn off the super chats now, and then we'll go through the backlog of all the ones that we forgot. But don't worry, I will get to every single one of them on this. Do not fret. But I can't get any new ones in because then we might be here a while. All right. Jinbei would be, I think, also just an enhancer. Chopper would be specialist. Yeah. And Nami would be a manipulator with the weather, maybe. Either an emitter or a manipulator. And then Usopp would be an emitter, because that's basically what it is. Yeah. I'd have to... Nami is a manipulator. She can manipulate me any day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get you. Yeah, but that'd be funny. Okay, let's go through the super chats then. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Which arc do you think is after Elbaf? I hope we go to Lodestar. I know a lot of people don't care about Lodestar, but I hope we do go to Lodestar. Do you think the live-action Season 2 will end at the point of meeting Ace? Yeah, I could see it ending there. I could see it either ending as, like, reaching Alabasta like Nanohana, or just ending right before that. You know what? The way that it's going to be structured, it's probably going to end at the end of Drum Island. Them leaving Drum Island, going to Alabasta is going to be that, because they've mentioned that that's where it's going to end. But it really depends on, like, what we're going to... I don't think they're going to have anything like them arriving at Alabasta, like, ready. Like, that'll be the last episode. I doubt it. It's going to be Drum Island. So we'll see Ace at Drum Island in the last episode of the anime, of the live action, probably, of Season 2. He might even be, like, the post-credit sequence. I don't know. Since we're in Elbaf, do you think Usopp will realize his dream, and what order will the rest of the Strats be? I think Usopp's going to realize his dream here in Elbaf. I think that's going to happen by the end of the arc. The other Straw Hats, like, Nami's is a dream that she literally cannot achieve, like, in this journey. She's going to have to travel all over the world, like, to the North Blue and the South Blue, and draw a map of the world that way. So some of the Straw Hats' dreams are not going to be completely realized in this journey. We're probably going to do an epilogue later, where we catch up with them like 20 years later, and at that point, Nami has drawn a map of the world, kind of thing. Yeah. But who else was... actually, let me go back to the regular chat. Let me know if I have not read your super chat, and then I will just search for it here. But yeah, I just did that with Brandon's. Okay. Lodestar just feels pointless. I know it feels pointless, but I feel like it's just the capstone for their journey of the log pose. I think they should still go there. You have not read mine. Okay, hold up. Say, thanks for the $20. Say a 7-year-old eats a dog fruit, and they are 7 in dog years, and in dog form, they're 7 in human years. Do you think the world government has a charter, and what are the benefits of being in it? Help with stream succession to avoid, avoid the hot D-like issue. Help with streaming succession to avoid, okay, like the hot D streams. Like, I understand the hot D, like House of the Dragon is what that references. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so when it comes to a human eating like a dog fruit, let's say, and like dogs die earlier than humans do, I think it defaults to the human. So like Dalmatian ate a dog zone. Okay, he's a Dalmatian. I don't think, he is, he's like he immediately turns into an old dog and like gets all brittle and dies. No, I think it defaults to your original age. That's how it works there. You're just able to turn into a dog. Do you think the world government has a charter? It definitely has to have a charter. I wish Oda would go a little bit more into detail on like the constitution of the world government and like what the heavenly tribute really is and what like the first decree of the world government, because that is really interesting to me. But that's also kind of maybe a little boring, and, explaining all that stuff in a manga, it might, take up a whole chapter. Like, here are the 10 commandments of the world government. Like, that might be a little bit too much to remember. So I could see why Oda doesn't do that. But it almost certainly exists, yes. Let's see. And then, what are the benefits of being in it? I mean, like, protection from the Marines. And I would say also, like, there's a global trade network that only exists for world government nations. If you're not allied with that nation or with the world government, then you're going to be shunned. You're going to be, shunned by the rest of the international community, basically, and be like, you're not part of the world government. We don't care about you. And we've seen that from the prejudice that Aramaki displays, where he says, hey, you're not even from a world government country, so the law says it's okay for all you to die. You don't matter. You know what I mean? So that's probably all the way that all these other nations that aren't allied with the world government, are subjected to. I didn't make the inflation video yet. You're right. I haven't made the inflation video yet on berries. I need to do that. You did not read 2 of yours. Okay. Okay. Do you think there's a hidden message or a hidden reason why the Duke's man? Okay, I read that one. That's about Carrot. Will we get Doll meeting Saul? I answered that one. I don't think that's going to happen in this arc. And those are the only 2 I have on here from you. So I don't see any other ones on this list from you. I sent a super chat. Okay. That's what we're doing here at the end. If you had to make a music album of OP characters, what genre and which 5 would you choose? Well, Brooke's going to be soul music for sure. Like that has to be that. We know Aokiji has a rather soothing voice because we listened to his voice actor be on an album once. He had a very good soothing voice there. Let's see. I feel like Cavendish would do like boy band type music kind of stuff. Who would be the guy that would sing country music? Frankie could sing country music. He has a guitar. He could do country music. Yeah. I sent a super chat on the top 10 islands. Okay, hold on. Let me look that up. Ranking the top 10 largest One Piece islands. I mean, that one feels like information that is readily available on, like, the wiki. Wano, Alabasta, Dawn Island, where Luffy is from, is huge. If you actually look at it on a map. Tell you what, when Artor comes out with his full interactive map of the One Piece world, you can just check to see, because he's going to be as accurate as possible with the largest islands. But Alabasta and Wano are huge. Elbaf is huge, like, vertically. Don't forget my super chat. Okay. If Zunisha was part of Joy Boy's crew, how would the sword on Elbaf belong to him? Could the sword on Elbaf belong to him? He's the only character big enough to wield it that we've seen so far. Well, no, because we've also seen those giant beings at Thriller Bark, which are actual beings and not like the shadow creatures. So those things could definitely use that sword. And those things kind of resemble Eam as well. So, like, and Eam can turn into a giant form. So, Eam might just be one of those things from Thriller Bark that is now ruler of the world for some reason. I guess we don't know. Yeah. But, you know, I don't think it was Zunisha's weapon. I think it was one of those things in Thriller Bark. I think it was those, or in the Florian Triangle, to be more accurate. Peter is 12 feet tall. He should be playing basketball. Is he? Was it ever confirmed the heights of the... I mean, the Gorosei are all huge, because, like, most characters in One Piece, like, the Admirals are way taller than, like, average people as well. Like, we did that one challenge where Kuzan went up against Nami in a basketball, like, a free throw contest, and he was, like, almost as tall as the goddamn hoop. Like, it was insane. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't actually say how tall they are, but they're all super tall. All right. Is there any other super chats I did not read? How could no one recognize the cross mark on Luffy's hand in the newspaper? Doesn't mean that the Strats don't communicate with each other. How could no one recognize the cross mark on Luffy's hand in the newspaper? Oh, the one that just happened. I was thinking of the 3D2Y message. Oh, the one that just happened. Well, Robin, Frankie, and Jinbei and Brooke do not know about that because they weren't there on the Merry with Vivi. Now, you might say, well, why didn't the Straw Hats tell them about it? Well, I'm sure the Straw Hats told the new Straw Hats about... Oh, yeah, Django being disco. That would work, too. Like Saturday Night Fever kind of thing. I'm pretty sure they told them about Vivi. But are they going to sit them down and go through every single event that occurred in the Alabasta arc? Like, this is how we met Vivi, and then we went to Whiskey Peak, and then we went to Little Garden, and then we went to Drum Island, and Vivi did this, and then Mr. 2 showed up, and then he could turn into people, and then we marked ourselves with an X as a sign of our friendship, and then we went to the island, and then we did this, and then we went to Yuba, and then we went to Rain Base, and then we went to Alubarna, and then we had this big battle, and then we all left, and it was really sad, and we all raised our hands in solidarity. I doubt that Straw Hats are going to all, like, sit down Brooke and Jinbei and Frankie and tell them the whole story about that from start to finish. I'm sure they're going to tell them, like, yeah, we had an adventure in Alabasta. We met Vivi there. We had to leave. She wanted to stay. That's probably the way they're going to explain it. To go into that level of detail with it, Robin kind of remembers it because she was there. But other than that, I can understand why, like, Frankie and Jinbei and Brooke don't know about that. Yeah. They do have time to discuss everything, but it's really a question of, like, does Brooke sit down and be like, I want you to tell me everything about that happened with Vivi from start to finish? I'm sure the Straw Hats would tell that story, but I guess they didn't in that great detail. I mean, they clearly didn't, because Frankie, Jinbei, and Brooke do not recognize the X, so I guess they did not. Yeah. Oh, you did a month anniversary super chat. Okay, so that shows up as a member chat, which for whatever fucking reason, I cannot, it does not pull up in the super chat area. Let me see if I can pull it up in the membership area. It does not. Man, that's annoying. Like, I want to look at the membership super chat kind of things. Will you be watching the 12th episode of 1,000 Year Blood Work on your charity stream? I'm not going to be... No, I can't watch the episode while I'm doing the stream now. Vivi officially joins the crew in 2025, right? Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, let's go with that. I mean, I'd be okay with that. Tell you what, Mr. Bushido, send the question again. I'll just keep an eye out for it. Don't send me a super chat or a membership or anything. Just send it in the regular chat, and I'll just, like, keep an eye out for it. If there's something that you sent me that I missed, because for some reason I can't pull up the previous messages from that because it's not in the same area as the super chat area. Yeah. I'll just keep an eye out for it. Brooke did mention he read the logs of their adventures, but probably not that secret. That was actually brought up in, I think, a filler arc where Brooke read like the journal or the logbook of the Straw Hats. That was not something in the manga. I would assume they do that in the anime. I mean, in the manga, but it's never been shown. Yeah, repeat yours as well. That's fine. You do that. Do you think Joy Boy's crew and Hockey Knot will be covered more before Laugh Tale? Absolutely. It's definitely going to be covered, and it might even be covered here in Elbaf, because it's a concept we were introduced to in Egghead, so learning about it here would make sense. Do you watch Dan Da Dan? I do. I really enjoy it as well. I have to watch the last episode, though. I did not see the last episode. Wait, no. Wait, today's... Yeah, no, I saw the last episode. I saw the last episode of that, yeah. I have seen Zombieland, yeah. Okay, Paul. Do you think Saul and Olvia were on the crew with the figure we think is Shiki? You mean like the Rocks crew that we think is Shiki? Because Shiki was on the Rocks crew. No, I don't think Olvia was on that crew. I don't think she would have been old enough to be on that crew. Maybe she would have been. I don't think so. And I don't think Saul was on that crew either. Because Saul seemed to be like a giant raised somewhere else and then went on to become a Marine. After Isekai D&D, can we get a Geography is Everything on Vistoria? Yeah, I'll have to have Rustage on for that. And we'll do a big Geography is Everything on that place. And he can show me a map. Because he does have a map of it. And we can go through all that area, yeah. What's the first manga I ever read? Yu-Gi-Oh! In an old magazine, a Shonen Jump magazine you could buy in the United States. They used to sell them like a slimmed down version of Shonen Jump. It wasn't as big as the one in Japan, but I was like probably 13 years old and I was in a Walmart and I saw Yugi and also Goku on the cover and I asked my mom to buy it for me and she bought it for me. Then my mom went over to a clothing store and I was sitting in the clothing store on the edge of one of the mannequins and I was just reading the magazine. And I was really confused because I had to read it backwards and I didn't do that. I didn't know. I was like, wait, I have to read this backwards? What? Yeah. What is Luffy's official kill count? I want to so much calculate that, but I'd have to go, and it would have to be anime because it would be easier to keep track of in the anime. Like how many people he's knocking over the shelves and like the sides of the banisters and like Impel Down and stuff like that are just falling into a vat of lava, you know? It's definitely in the dozens. Have you read my super chat? Minion Lord. Okay. How do you feel about the reanimation of Fishman Island? I like it. I mean, it's not a complete reanimation. It's just they're touching it up and they're adding some new stuff. It's like a new coat of paint. I love the new opening. The new opening is a whole brand new animation, and that is gorgeous. I've been watching it. You know, they're taking out a lot of stuff that was considered filler earlier that wasn't in the manga, and they're just kind of moving it along to, like, it's the abridged version. It's the speeded up version of the arc. The original version still exists if you want to go check that out. I hope they do a Dressrosa version of this right after, too, because Dressrosa needs it bad. You could probably cut down half the episode numbers on Dressrosa. Holy shit. Yeah. You missed one of my super chats. All right. Well, that's why I have it up here. Now that Louis R. Note has made a return, do you think Willie Gallen will also be mentioned again? Yeah, when was he brought up? He was also mentioned at some point. Willie Gallon. Is a physicist. Little is known about him. It is known that he believes that everything can be imagined and can become reality. He is quoted by the narrator when the Straw Hats encountered a huge ship falling from the sky. Okay, so he was the guy, yeah. When the ship fell, that was when the narration, like, there's nothing in this world that you can imagine that isn't possible in reality. That's, you know, that's the whole idea. And he isn't mentioned in the anime, which is why I was kind of blanking there, too. But that's what, yeah, if you go back in the manga, I can pull up the scene here. Chapter 218. See if I can pull this up. Yeah. Here it is. This scene right here. Everything that humans can imagine can happen in reality. Physicist Willie Gallen. So this is a thing that Oda will do. He did this a lot more in the earlier arcs. He hasn't really done it so much since. He'll show up and be like, oh yeah, there are these random people that are physicists and philosophers and scientists and explorers that have been to the Grand Line before and have thrown out a bunch of random things. So here it is. And there you are. I don't know, but I like the fact that he brought back Louis Arnault, and I really hope that he continues to like maybe shed some light on some other characters like that. Yeah, some like unnamed characters. There's another one that I missed. Okay. Pell is greater than Meruem, and we all know why. I mean, yeah, Pell tanked a nuke. Did Meruem take a nuke? Well, he came back. He didn't die, but it was because of some other. It was outside help that he survived the nuke. Pell was able to survive the nuke. Yeah. Who is stronger, one Elder or two Yonko? Like power scaling wise. So I would say like Kaido and Big Mom together would beat the shit out of any Gorosei. It's just the Gorosei can heal. So it's like enough Haki was able to knock them out of their forms. But Luffy had really strong conquerors, and then the other people they fought had decent conquerors, and like that wasn't enough. So I feel like that the only amount of Haki that was able to do it was Joy Boy's Haki, which is absurdly strong. So I would say Kaido and Big Mom together would be beating the crap out of one of the Gorosei, but he could just keep reforming over and over again, and Kaido and Big Mom would continue to be tired, and his power wouldn't be strong enough to kill them in one shot, but it would wear them down a bit. Like, if Kaido took an attack from Garcia, and it was just the poison shot, like, right to his chest, I don't think Kaido would be like, ow, like, that kind of mildly stings. No, I think that would, like, dissolve part of his flesh. It just wouldn't kill him in one shot, and he would have to, like, keep hitting him, and then he would reform, and then keep shooting the poison again and again, and it was like, exercise of futility. Okay, so there's a couple that I missed here. See here, Cassidy and Matt. Okay, Cassidy. Favorite Nami outfit. I did bring that one up earlier. That was Nami's outfit during Water 7 is probably my favorite of hers, with the shirt and the white tie. I thought that was really cool. What Pokemon would fit each Straw Hat as a starter? That's another one that's like a loaded question. But I would say that the biggest one is probably Infernape for Luffy. That one is really cool. Aegislash for Zoro. Like, there's actually been videos. Like, you go watch videos of, like, if the Straw Hats each had a Pokemon. Although, starter Pokemon, I'd have to go through all the starters, and I don't know all the starters off the top of my head, like the later generations. But there are videos that go through that, and a lot of them are, like, the ones I agree with. Yeah. How would Dragon prevent the Revolutionary Army from being completely corrupt? Yeah, like, I have a feeling that might be an aspect of this Oda might just kind of gloss over. I hope he doesn't. But that gets into a whole thing of, like, let's say the Tenryubito collapse, the world government needs a leader, Dragon takes over as a structure. Okay, well, what's stopping the revolutionaries from getting corrupt with power? And Oda might just be like, yeah, that doesn't happen. Happily ever after. It's just like, okay. Yeah. It's kind of like in Dr. Stone, where when they're going around and, like, saving everybody in the world, it's like, well, what happens if some of those people rebel and don't want to listen to Senku's group? And it's like, nah, that won't happen. They'll just listen to whatever they say. Humanity's getting along. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing there for the sake of brevity and moving the story forward, but that's bullshit. You know it, Yeah, I think, current Chopper could beat Arlong, Krieg, Kuro, Buggy easily. Yeah. I think any of the Straw Hats could beat Arlong. Arlong being the strongest villain in the East Blue, any of the Straw Hats are beating Arlong now. Nami is beating Arlong. Usopp's beating Arlong. Definitely. At this point in the story. All right. Well, we're about over an hour and 40 minutes in, so I think I'm going to be ending it now. Thanks to everybody for your questions. Thanks to everybody for your super chats. Got a bunch. That's great. I like to do these probably like once every month or two. I'll probably jump on to do these. Sounds like fun. To like just answer questions from the chat. Although there's like a lot, so I gotta like keep the thing moving and everything. Have a nice rest of your day. I will. I'm probably just gonna go make some hot chocolate. Probably play some Baldur's Gate. Dude, I'm doing an honor mode run. My first honor mode run of Baldur's Gate. Every other honor mode run, I died in like the first 20 minutes. This one, I'm lasting a little longer. I've made it all the way to Act 3. I just made it to Act 3. And the thing with honor mode Baldur's Gate is no save scumming. You can't save scum. You're here and you're doing this. And if you fuck up and you kill somebody by accident, or if you trigger a fight scene and you got to kill some people, you just kind of have to do it. It's just kind of how it works. Like, so Minthara died. I killed Barkus. I killed Walbrin. You know, I killed Leah, one of the tieflings. There was Alfira survived this one though. Like a lot of them died. And the funny thing is, so you're at that part of the game. If you never played Baldur's Gate, just ignore this part. But this is what I did. I almost died this morning. I almost had a TPK this morning, where I'm going into leaving. I'm in Act 3, going from Rivington over to Worm's Crossing, and there's a Steel Watch there that's guarding the checkpoint. And it's like the Steel Watch is going to detect you and is going to know you're a threat. So what should happen is a Iron Hand gnome runs up to the Steel Watch, throws a flash blinder, disables the Steel Watch, and then you just kind of sneak by. Well, the Iron Hand gnomes aren't in this run, so I had to fight this fucking thing. And like 6 guards, and I'm fairly high level, but like I came within this fucking close of losing this run, of doing a TPK. It was down to, my character is a bard, and then I had Jaheira, and then I had Lae'zel. Astarion died like immediately, and that was it. So, holy shit, that was a close fight. Damn, pretty dishonorable if you ask me. Yeah, you got to be more sneaky. I've had to kill so many merchants in this one, too. Because, like, dude, I kill Ketherick, and there's a member of the Harpers that's outside, like, that's, like, trading stuff, right? And she's like, oh, what do you need? I have all the supplies and all the provisions. And there's, like, really powerful armor she has, and magical weapons, and magical arrows. It's like, yeah, you just killed the avatar of death, and now you're going to the city to save everybody from an elder brain that's going to dominate the entire world. Yeah, you could really use this armor, huh? Okay, well, 5,000 gold. It's like, can you maybe just give it to me, lady? So I had to kill. I was like, I don't want to have to do this. And then I wipe out the merchant, and all the shit's gone. There's only like 6 things in her inventory. And I'm like, oh, come on, where'd all the shit go? Oh man, you try to pickpocket them, but they you know, you can't only steal like one thing at a time, and it's really hard to steal the really high valuable stuff. Yeah. So the honor mode run is just me going around and murdering a lot of merchants and NPCs. Yes, yes, the negotiator. It's just like, yeah. I am playing a character named Kilgore. I just want you guys to... I'm playing a half-orc bard, but he's also really strong. I spec'd him to have really good strength and really good charisma. So his intelligence is... He's a dumb man. But he's like, my name's Kilgore. Yeah. And he just goes around with a hammer and just hits people really hard. Yeah. But anyway, that's what I'm probably going to do the rest of the day. I might do Boncast tonight or tomorrow, depends. Isekai D&D will be tomorrow, 3 o'clock p.m. on Rustage's Twitch. They'll be there. Yeah. Why haven't I gotten around to it yet? Because I haven't gotten around to it yet. Daniel. Yeah, the answer to most questions on, like, how come I haven't done one particular video yet is usually just, I haven't gotten around to it yet. So did Crocus also promise Laboon he'll be back when he went to Laughtail with Roger? I'm sure he did. I'm sure he also left Laboon with maybe somebody to watch over him, and Crocus actually did come back. How long was Laboon by himself? I think like a year. Like a year for his final journey with Roger and Crocus. Yeah. No. Am I missing something here? No, I think Crocus left somebody at the lighthouse to watch over Laboon. Don't know who that would have been, but it's probably not super relevant. Yeah. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to get going. This will be Teching signing out. Later, everybody. You all have a great day. And remember, charity stream is on the 21st of this month. Be there, and we'll go do some tournament stuff, and it's gonna be a blast. Donating to a good cause. You know, I looked over the numbers. Over the last 5 years of these, it's been over $75,000 that we have raised for St. Jude Children's Hospital, and that's incredible. Hope to have another good year this year. Thanks for watching, everybody. Teching, signing out.